Flaws. Man-made attempts to replicate the many surfaces that Mother Earth anchored us to with the cosmic wonder glue we know as gravity. Dirt. Rock. Dirt with bits of rock in it. The beach. Escalators. Her bounty was plentiful. But what can ever be plentiful enough in humanity's destructive quest to enslave the planet to its own selfish needs? We crawled out of the caves that evolution forced us to fight off great beasts for occupancy of, such as bears, horse sharks, Sith Lords, and Mecha Godzillas, and we created our own dwellings. First with shit and metal from planes that crashed through the Bermuda Triangle time loop, and then with bricks and cranes and Mecha Godzillas. In these abodes, the Earth's surface became known as a shameful thing to display, a symbol of weakness, and an open invitation for Hulkan, the mole god, to erupt in your living room and devour your wife, so man entombed it under great slabs of concrete and checkered tiles, rugs and mats, until man thought to himself, you know, I'm tired of not narrowly avoiding breaking my fucking neck every time I come down here in my socks. I think I'll knock in a wooden floor. That's right, the world's most terrifying walking surface, a hard, unyielding ground as cold as the rage of the trees we murdered it for, finally has its own game. I mean, it has two games now. There's a sequel to this, which is really the only reason I'm playing it, but nevertheless, it promises to be a first-person horror game full of visual trickery. Not being able to predict what is going to happen next, you need to make your way through the haunted house. It's worth noting that this is a level select option. You can't just switch out the wood for lino or anything. I guess they're saving that for the DLC. I guess Wooden Floor's biggest problem is that it's incredibly fucking boring. The gameplay centers around the exploration of a mysterious house that you'll wake up in, minus an explanation, moving from room to room, tracking down keys and occasionally engaging in some light platforming. The main hook of the game is the procedural generation of the level that you're on, although it often feels like more of an irritation than it does provide any genuine atmospheric disorientation. Wooden Floor tells you pretty early on to shut the doors behind you, immediately putting it on a level of terror equal to a curmudgeonly grandmother, which is obviously to allow the game to switch all the rooms around on you. Problem there is that it doesn't always work, forcing you to restart the game a good way from where you left off on account of there being no checkpoints or save system. Oh come on Wooden Floor, procedurally generate me a fucking break here, would you? The store page promises you a journey packed with adequate scares, which is definitely better than just outright lying about a deficit of fear in your wandering simulator, but still something of a gross over-appraisal. Looking at a few samples of the horrors lurking within this brooding trot around, you've got your pictures jumping off the walls, rooms that pretend to make your clothes all wet. Ah no, I haven't got any spared. Ah, you cheeky bloody so-and-so, what are you like? Chairs falling off the ceiling. I mean, the musical score does a decent job at selling them to you, but try as it might, and despite looking really quite decent for a low budget horror game, Wooden Floor really does struggle to do anything original with its premise or the few bare set pieces it has to its name. In fact, take a look at this one. We're about halfway through the game at this point, being chased out of a mini maze by an encroaching red mass of fuck knows what, and that's fine in and of itself, but I have trouble buying the tension on account of there being absolutely no sprint or run option. You know, in the face of that, the fact that it tells you to run is fucking hilarious, as if your nameless character just makes a conscious decision to flee this otherworldly anomaly with the same brisk stroll that he's been using to cheerfully navigate the rest of the house. The final boss fight summons at least some semblance of cohesive thought and need for tactical approach. You gotta dodge these mini fireballs while a giant face admonishes you from behind a big book. But even that reaches a mystifyingly wet conclusion when you seemingly die halfway through the battle, respawn, and then head upstairs to find that you've apparently been let off the hook. There you go, there's the way out. You had to go, that's good enough for us. Enjoy your Alien 3 ending. Fuck you, Bishop. You ain't getting your paws on my xenomorph, baby. He's coming with his mama to here! Wooden Floor was far too casual an experience for me. It's difficult to call it a bad game. You know, in fact, if you want to strike the word boring off the list, my next choice would be inoffensive, but it wastes its premise. If you don't want to pack a game with jump scares, that's fine. Great even. Fuck jump scares. But how about some plot at least? How about something to break up the endless march between identical looking rooms as you try and force yourself to be startled by the 17th portrait toppling off the wall? I think the most fun I had in Wooden Floor was when this key shot out of a wardrobe like a panicked sparrow and tried to make me chase it around the house. It was right before the void chase sequence, which I died a few times on, so I got pretty good at catching it before it could get away. But when that's the most entertainment I can wring out of a procedurally generated haunted house game, something is deeply lacking in the creativity department. Wish me luck for the sequel.